You feel that familiar drain, don't you? That deep weariness that sleep just doesn't seem to touch. But what if I told you that tiredness is merely a symptom? The real malady, you see, isn't a lack of rest, but a profound disconnection. We've become unplugged from the very source of our vitality, from the natural, effortless flow of life itself, constantly pulled away by anxieties, distractions, and a relentless chase of temor. We lose touch with the present moment, and in that absence we simply run dry.
Greetings, fellow travelers on this curious journey called life. Take a moment, won't you? Settle into your chair, or perhaps lie down. Feel the weight of your body, the subtle hum of your own existence. And tell me, honestly, now do you feel it? This peculiar fatigue that seems to cling to us like a stubborn shadow. It's not just a physical exhaustion, is it? Not merely the consequence of too many late nights, or too much earnest toil. No, this weariness runs deeper. It's a soul-sapping lassitude, a profound sense of being utterly drained, even when you've done, seemingly, nothing at all. You wake up, and before the coffee has even begun to awake you, you feel tired. Not from effort, but from simply being. And isn't it curious? In an age of unprecedented convenience, of machines that do our bidding, of information at our fingertips, so why are we so perpetually, fundamentally exhausted? We chase rest. We pursue relaxation with the same frantic energy we apply to our work. And yet, the well never seems to refill. Perhaps, just perhaps, the diagnosis is entirely wrong. What if this deep, persistent tiredness isn't a lack of rest, but a symptom of something else entirely? What if, my dear friends, you're not tired at all? What if, in fact, you're profoundly disconnected? The illusion of separation, the skin-encapsulated ego. You see, we've been taught a rather peculiar story about ourselves. We've been told, from an early age, that you are this little ego, trapped within the confines of your skin. A tiny, separate island of consciousness adrift in a vast, indifferent ocean called the outside world. This I, this little command center behind your eyes, is supposed to be the master of its domain, constantly battling, constantly striving, constantly trying to get something from this external reality. But consider, for a moment, the absurdity of it. Are you really separate from the air you breathe? From the sunlight that warms your skin? From the very ground beneath your feet? Is a wave separate from the ocean? Does it suddenly become not water, because it rises and falls? Of course not. The wave is the ocean, expressing itself in a particular, momentary form. And so it is with you. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself, manifesting in this particular, unique pattern that you call yourself. But we live as if this fundamental truth were a dangerous secret, and we cling desperately to this illusion of separation. And it's this very clinging, this insistence on being a lonely little ego battling the vast, external world, that drains us. It's like trying to breathe while holding your breath. It's exhausting. The tyranny of thought living in the head, not the world. Where does this disconnection truly manifest? It manifests, primarily, in our minds. Our minds, glorious instruments that they are, have become runaway locomotives, hurtling through landscapes of memory and anticipation. We are constantly narrating our lives, analyzing, judging, planning, worrying. We live in the incessant chatter of our own thoughts, rather than in the vibrant, immediate reality of the present moment. Think about it. How much of your day is spent truly here, truly now? How much is spent rehashing conversations from yesterday, or rehearsing arguments for tomorrow? How much is spent lost in fantasies, or bogged down in anxieties? This constant mental noise, this relentless internal dialogue, is a tremendous strain on our vital energy. It's like having 100 browser tabs open in your mind, all demanding attention, all consuming processing power. And when you are constantly living in the past or the future, you are, by definition, disconnected from the only moment that truly exists, the present. The present is where life happens. The present is where the universe unfolds. But if your consciousness is always somewhere else, then you are perpetually out of sync, out of touch, and utterly exhausted by the effort of trying to catch up with a reality you are constantly avoiding. The trap of striving the myth of future happiness. Another great source of this profound weariness is our relentless striving. We are taught from childhood that life is a race, a climb, a continuous effort towards some future state of happiness or fulfillment. You'll be happy when you get that promotion. You'll be content when you find the right partner. You'll finally relax when you retire. This is a great myth of our age, that peace, joy, and fulfillment are destinations to be reached, rather than a state of being to be realized. And so we push, and we pull, and we strive, with gritted teeth and furrowed brows, believing that our efforts will eventually lead us to some mythical promised land. But what if the very act of striving, the very insistence on getting somewhere, is what's keeping us perpetually out of breath? What if the destination is, in fact, an illusion? You see, the moment you arrive, you immediately set your sights on the next thing. It's a treadmill, and a terribly exhausting one at that. When you are constantly reaching, constantly grasping, constantly trying to control life and bend it to your will, you are fighting the very current of existence. And fighting the current, my friends, is the quickest way to wear yourself out. Reconnecting, the art of going with the grain. So, if you're not tired, but disconnected, what's the antidote? It's not more rest in the conventional sense. It's a profound reconnection. It begins with simply noticing. Noticing this incessant mental chatter. Noticing the illusion of separation. It begins with allowing yourself to be present. To genuinely taste your food. To truly hear the bird song. To feel the warmth of the sun without immediately projecting into the next moment. It's about trusting the flow of things. Not fighting against the natural current of life, but going with the grain. This doesn't mean becoming passive or inactive. A boat that goes with the current still moves, still navigates. But it does so with a profound ease, without the exhausting struggle of fighting against the very force that could carry it forward. When you stop constantly trying to control everything, when you release the need to force outcomes, you suddenly discover an immense wellspring of energy. The universe, which you once saw as an adversary, reveals itself as an ally. Conclusion: the effortless way. And this, my friends, is the true meaning of effortless action. It's not about doing nothing. It's about acting from a place of alignment, from a place of oneness with the grand dance of existence. When you realize that you are the universe, expressing itself in this unique moment, then every action, every breath, every thought becomes a part of that beautiful, spontaneous unfolding. So, the next time you feel that deep, inexplicable weariness, pause. Don't immediately reach for more coffee or another distraction. Instead, ask yourself, am I truly tired? Or am I simply disconnected? And then, just for a moment, let go. Let go of the thoughts. Let go of the striving. Let go of the illusion of being separate. And simply be. For in that simple act of reconnection, you will find not just rest, but a profound and boundless energy you never knew you possessed.